Hey friend, welcome to the Get Rooted in Health podcast. I'm Gabby Flater, a faith-led wife, mom of 3, certified nutrition consultant, personal trainer, and passionate about changing lives. I know how frustrating it can be to navigate the health and wellness world. You want to be motivated to prioritize your well-being and wish you were more educated when it comes to cultivating a healthy home. Maybe you're a mom who's completely burnt out and needs a fresh perspective on life, or you're searching for a place to feel seen, heard, and encouraged in a godly manner. No matter if you're doing the dishes, getting your sweat on, or drinking reheated coffee while watching the kids play, there is always an opportunity for growth. If you are ready to finally take action about these desires and are ready to learn, grow, and transform your mind, then you are in the right place. It's time to establish deeper roots so you can enjoy a more fruitful and fulfilling harvest. Let's dig in. Welcome back to another episode on the Get Rooted in Health podcast. This is episode 20. This is exciting. Episode 20, guys. Time is flying. I can't believe March 12th was 20 episodes ago, which is like 20 weeks ago. I may have missed a week. I can't remember. I may have uploaded it later in the week, but still, this is so exciting. And I'm so thankful for all of you that are here, for some of you that may be newer to the show. I'm so glad that you're here. If you hadn't had a chance to go check out some of the other 19 episodes, I even have my first one as like a trailer. I think it's less than 10 minutes long. And I just introduced myself, a little bit about Rooted in Health, a little about me, my mission, why I started this podcast. So if you hadn't even checked that one out, it's a good way to get to know me a little more. And just kind of give you a great insight into what this podcast has in store for you. So we're going to get right into it today. I actually got an unexpected quiet moment in my home, and I was like, Gabby, you got to finish up quick in the kitchen and sit your butt down and record, because you can do a whole lot of other things with chaos in the house, but you can't record because right now I'm guaranteed quiet. So this is so awesome, and I'm super grateful for it. So I'm going to take advantage of it. And so I sat here just kind of thinking about a couple things that I wanted to chat about. And right now with this episode, I wanted to chat with you guys on more of a fitness topic, exercise, moving your body type topic. And some of this stuff I may have touched on before in an earlier episode, but it's always good to bring things back up and resurface some things and touch on them a little more. And today I want to share ways that you can kind of get into rhythm of, working out at home. And like if you don't have a gym membership, you don't have access to a gym, you don't want to pay for a membership, you don't like the gym, maybe you don't have the option really to leave the house too often to do that. Yeah, and even gas prices are bonkers. So any way that you can cut costs and save money, this honestly could help you. I'm not telling you go cancel your gym membership, but if you're not utilizing it a ton, maybe it's a way that you can save a little money for some time. And go ahead and invest in a few things, or maybe you already have access to a few things at home that might surprise you. After we chat a little bit, some great free resources that I'll share, some inexpensive equipment, some free equipment, some bigger cost and investment equipment. It all depends on what you're here for and what you're open to. So we'll kind of dive into it all, but basically just kind of touching on ways that you can get your fit on at home, get your fitnessing in and be able to be home. What kind of things would you want to have around home for that, resources, how to get into a routine, and all of those things. So with anything new, it's going to feel hard. So let's just say that you are someone who doesn't really have a whole workout exercise routine. The thing here is you're going to have to start small, and you're going to have to start basic, and the hardest part is just starting. So the biggest thing for you might be just starting to wake up a little earlier. Maybe you have to do it early in the morning. And so your first step is going to be creating the habit of getting up, say 5-10 minutes earlier. And maybe you're not even working out. Maybe it's just starting that, and you start your day just a tad bit earlier. And I don't know, maybe you do start to move your body at that time. Otherwise, you could stretch, or you could practice getting dressed and putting on your tennis shoes. Or you could use that 5 to 10 minutes in the first week or two of you practicing getting up a few minutes earlier at a time until maybe you've given yourself an extra 20 or 30 minutes to get in some movement if it has to happen earlier in the day, to map out, do some research. Take that time to search online for either equipment, for trainers that you can follow videos for, maybe find and save some workouts that you might find online. I mean, guys, the internet is filled with endless free resources. So if you're willing, use that time to start your game plan. Write down your goals, all of those things. So take that time to build the habit of getting up a little earlier, putting your workout clothes on, and then sitting down mapping it out is a great way to start. Maybe you got to make your coffee too, because sometimes that's just what motivates us, right? And then say, in a week or 2 weeks, now you've built up the consistency of getting up early enough and then you've been putting on your clothes, to then implementing that workout. So you have to start small. You have to start creating a habit, matching it with something else. So maybe you wake up and you make your coffee and you sit down and map out. Like, you have to pair an already existing habit with a new habit. Make it easy on yourself, okay? Set out your stuff the night before. I mean, these things. These aren't rocket science. Set yourself up for success, okay? Starting off with a little bit at a time. If you're like, I'm going to get up an hour early and I'm going to work out for 60 minutes and I'm going hardcore insanity, or what was that called? P90X? Why do I want to call it that? I don't even remember what it's called. But that crazy like Shanti or whatever, Beachbody, I think it's P90X, workout program. Anyway, now I'm getting distracted. But like, if you're like, I'm going hardcore and I'm going to kill my body, you're going to do that for like a day or two, and then you're going to be like, this is dumb, or I hurt. It's really bad and I'm not going to work out, or there's no way I can do this for an hour, or I'm so tired, I don't want to get up. Well, you didn't quite start. You went too big. So I get the whole like go big or go home type thing, but that doesn't always work. That's not always helpful. And you got to start at a place that's the best pace for you. And let's just put it out there that you cannot compare to anybody else. That is not going to be helpful. So you got to put the blinders on. You got to be like, all right, Susie, I'm in it for, me. This is my journey. Stay in my lane. You got to give yourself a pep talk. You can't get distracted. You cannot compare. And guess what? If you're doing this at home, there's no one else that you feel like is staring at you, even though I've told you nobody cares. Everyone's in their own world. I mean, some people, I like to people watch, but I'm not there to be like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? Like, as a trainer, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to go and help them. But, that's just me because it's my passion and interest and profession. And so I see things sometimes that like irk me and I'm like, oh, their form. But anyway, everyone's just so focused on themselves. So like nobody's paying attention and nobody cares. So anyway, you're at home. And so you're in a safe place, okay? Just you, even if you got kiddos running around or husband in and out with work or whatever. But if you're up early enough, that time can just be for you, and you can really just focus on getting better and improving over time and having grace with yourself. Because, again, when you put too much on your plate in the beginning, you're going to burn out really quick. And you're going to fail, and you don't want to fail. I don't want you to fail. And so I want you to start where you need to. You know what you're willing to do. Are you willing to get up 5 days a week at 5 a.m. when you've been waking up at 6:30 or 7 and work out for 60 minutes? I'm going to probably tell you that that's not a good idea. Okay? So again, figure out what your base is, and how can you start waking up a little earlier, or scheduling it in after work, or yeah, it's going to look different for everyone and everybody's schedule. And then trying out new things. It's going to take probably a little while to kind of figure out, what gets you like excited about moving. And we're not always excited to work out. It doesn't always feel good. We don't always want to, but like, if you really don't like running, then please don't think that maybe if it's part of like an interval in your workout and it's like a short duration, but don't think that you have to like running if you really just don't want to. That's totally fine. I would say that everyone needs to find some sort of strength training that works for them. Now, this could be Pilates, this could be bar, this could be yoga, or it could be lifting heavy dumbbells, using the squat rack, using the press machine, bench press, leg press, deadlifting. I mean, it like strength training, body weight looks so different. There's so many different varieties. So don't think strength training just means lifting super heavy things, bodybuilders, you're going to bulk up, any of that kind of stuff. It's really just putting your muscles to the test. You're putting them under tension. You're getting them stronger. When you put them under tension, they break down, and then they repair themselves, and they create stronger, larger muscle fibers. And if you want to avoid any later life disease, illness, sickness, body issues like arthritis or weak bones or any of that kind of stuff, then it happens with strength training. If you have the long-term in mind, long-term health, then strength training should be a part of it. It's not I made it to the gym today and I did 60 minutes on the treadmill. Okay, well, that's great, but what else do you do? So, really finding what you really like to do. There's so many different ways to do strength training. So, again, try new things. Do what works for you, that lights you up. Yes, we have to do things that we don't always like, and it's a good challenge for our body. But majority of the time, if you love going to Pilates or like doing Pilates videos, do it. Like, I'm all for it. And if you really love, doing strength training and cardio to get like all the full body strength and conditioning, like that's my jam. Go for it. If you'd rather do more yoga, I apologize, my watch in the background. I can't get the volume to be muted. It's not working. But yeah, so find what lights you up, but be okay being a little challenged and mix it up every now and again. That's my 2 cents there. So let's talk about a couple of inexpensive things. I have acquired things, many things over the years. My husband is like, wow, we've got like a whole gym here. But I get a free membership at the Y because I teach there. So we're not technically really paying much, if anything at all, for that. So I love getting to work out at home when I can. I don't have to pack up the kids. I can just be here, jam out, be me, not have to worry about anything. And yeah, it's really great. But I also love the gym too, and the camaraderie and the people, getting to teach and encourage others. Like that's what I really enjoy as well. So inexpensive things that you can have at home would be to start with, light dumbbells. We're not talking about free stuff yet. So like inexpensive, lighter dumbbells. So dumbbells typically are sold not as a pair, but per dumbbell. So buying 3s, 5s, and 8s typically are on the cheaper ones, on the cheaper end. You can definitely buy some that are one set, but they're like clickable and can range from 3 or 5 pounds all the way up to, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 pounds. It all depends. Those are more expensive. So just starting with lighter ones, especially if you're just a new to working out, having some 3s and 5s for sure. 8s and 10s still could be fairly, reasonable with price. Again, you're buying per dumbbell. You can find sales. You could look on Marketplace or wherever you like to find best deals, hit up some rummage sales, look around and see what you can find. Another thing would be resistance bands. Now, there are some that are shorter and there are some that are longer with handles, and there are also some that are very long, but they're an entire loop, like they're a giant circle, and you can use some of those and tie them around to an anchor point and use them. You can squat with them full body, so you can have it underneath your feet and then pull it up over your shoulders, and you would have some resistance added to your squats. You can even add, with that squat, put it right under your, like in between your thumb and your index finger, like you're holding it, and as you squat down, you're holding it, and then as you come up, you're pressing the band overhead, and then you bring it back down as you come down. The band is under your feet and then in your hands there, if you can picture this. So that is the giant, we'll just call it the super resistance band. There are a lot of things that you can do with that as well. The mini ones are more for like working the glutes, adding a little more resistance to some squats. You can do a lot of things, hooking them around your wrists or your arms, pulling them apart, activating the core, shoulder burn. There's a lot of ways and uses. You can use like the ones that don't connect like a circle, the resistance bands that have handles on each end. You can use those for bicep curls. These things are easy to travel with too, so if you're someone who travels, but they take up very little space, very inexpensive, and provide extra resistance besides the body weight that you already have. An exercise ball, so a giant ball, you can use that. Those are fairly inexpensive. And then a mat, if you want a nice fun mat, like get yourself excited and go get yourself a fun workout mat from wherever you want, and make it a cute one if you need to. Some bigger investments that you can purchase. I look at these as an investment because they really last like forever. So they may cost something now, but down the road, in the end, you'll have access to these forever. You can move with them. You don't have to have them at gym membership that's ongoing, or a subscription to something, or whatever it might be. And so these would be heavier dumbbells. So these are the ones that are past the 10 pounds. So you're getting 12, 15, 20s, 30s. And maybe you don't need every single weight range in 5-pound increments, but grab yourself a pair of 20s. Grab yourself a set of 30s, or maybe a 50-pound kettlebell, so that when you're finally in a place to be able to do deadlifts or like a heavy squat or something, you have access to something like that. So you obviously build up to that if that's not where you're at. And those come with a little bit more of a price tag as they get heavier. A bench, it's an optional thing. I ended up getting one, I think last year, on maybe like a sale that was going on online, I think. So that's something that you can lay on for presses. You can use it for core work. You can use it for tricep dips, for some cardio moves, for step-ups, box jumps, those kinds of things. You can also, the next thing I have written down is a box jump. You can purchase that. That's super fun. Your kids might like it too, so hide that thing. Or it might become a step stool as well, just saying. So, yeah, a bench, a box jump, and then a Bosu, if you don't know what that is. Think of like half of a ball. It's like a dome. And it's a dome on one side and flat on the other. That's something, Alex got me one of those, when we were very early on in our marriage, maybe like my first or second year of marriage. So that thing's going on like 10 years, almost 10 years old. It's awesome. Love it. So many versatile things you can do with it. not super large. You could kind of hide it, but I mean, it does take up some space, but it's also another option. And then, these are the big things like treadmills and like say a Peloton or some sort of like off-brand bike. You could get a bike trainer and hook up your bike to it. It'll allow you to spin and not go anywhere. You can hook up your back wheel. There's things like that you can do if you already have a bike. We do have a bike trainer as well, and I'll hop on that in the wintertime in our garage or in a space in our home if we have the room for it. But those things are more higher ticket items. If you have access to the outdoors, a place to, in decent weather most of the time that you're willing to get out into, then you don't necessarily need, the treadmill or any of that. So, okay. And then, just touching on some free things, obviously yourself is that is the perfect place to start, is body weight. So you're doing push-ups, you're doing squats, you're doing lunges, you're doing wall sits, you're holding a plank, lots of core exercises, tricep dips. So, you're pushing and extending, you're bending your elbows and pushing up on some sort of ledge, and you're working the backside of your arms. So there's so many variety, or there's so much variety when it comes to body weight, and you're moving against gravity. So other ways that you can increase that intensity is slowing your squat down and then pushing up quicker. So slow on the way down, fast on the way up. So it's the eccentric and eccentric. Like when you're going down and then you accelerate up faster. So I don't know why I can't think of the opposite word, but anyway, just slowing down your push-ups, slowing down your squat, slowing down a body weight deadlift or whatever it might be. That increases the time under tension. So I touched on that before, and that is where that's where the gold is. Okay. So tons of free body weight moves and exercises. You have home furniture, so you could use a chair to help with push-ups. Like if you need an elevated surface, you can use a wall, you can use a couch, things that are a little firmer. So if you don't have a super firm couch, then maybe find a windowsill or find something in the garage. Maybe the steps. Steps are a great place to do like some step-ups, do a couple incline push-ups. You can use stools. I've used some of my kids' toys, just being honest. There's a lot of things that you can use that is around your home for, just be safe. Just be safe. And then obviously outdoors, have access to the outdoors. So if you want to walk, you want to jog, hill repeats. I mean, I don't know, whatever suits your fancy. That's free. Okay. And then things that are, structured for you to be able to follow, YouTube it up. Find trainers that are consistent. Follow a consistent trainer that shows up and gives you great quality content. And one of them that I had found recently, her name is Sydney Cummings. She has a great channel. She recently had a baby, so she's pushing out, I think, some older workouts that has developed over the years. But I mean, she worked out all the way till like almost 40 weeks pregnant. Like till she had the baby, basically. She gave videos. But I had come across her within the last year. Absolutely love her stuff. So it's just start Google or YouTube, Instagram, so much free stuff. There's reels of people that share the exercises they demonstrate. I've shared a few things. I'm not as consistent, just because it's recording and editing and setting all of that up. It's just not in, I'm not in a space and a time where I can offer that as much, or I don't prioritize it as much, I should say. But I would love to. I think it's awesome. It is something that I'm very passionate about and wish I could do more of. It just requires a lot more, being the person that does it all. Right now, I don't have someone that videos me. Maybe I should have my son start learning how to do some of that stuff. But really making it good quality for you guys and consistent in the near future would be super exciting. And if you want that, please tell me, and maybe that'll give me a little fire under my butt. I would love even just recording videos for you guys to replay and work out with. But yeah, so finding someone that you relate to. There's so much free stuff online. And then there's apps. Just find some apps. There's a free one called Fit On. I've shared it before. So the word fit and then the word on. I think it's like a purpley pinkish app. So many varieties of workouts and stretching and all the things. Great content, tons of different lengths, styles, different trainers and personalities. So that's a great thing. Or maybe you want to buy a subscription, someone that you really, I love supporting. I'm all for supporting. I've bought ebooks before. I've bought a subscription before. When someone really, I feel they're giving great content and value and I want more, or I want to learn. That's how I learn as well, so that I can be a better educator and instructor. So I will, invest in those things when I see fit. So those are things that you'll have access to forever. And just finding that. So I hope that, some of those free things can be a great starting place for you. And when you're in a place that you are ready to make a purchase, that's great. You can buy treadmill workouts. If you have a treadmill and you want to use it, but you just feel like you're going to be bored, find something that's going to be, there's free stuff there too, or Pinterest. But, again, just finding what you like. And then, just kind of mixing it up, a few days a week with strength training, a couple days of cardio. You don't, take 2 days off a week. Keep it light, just with some walking or chores around the house or whatever. It's summertime here. So, we're busy outside doing things and playing with the kiddos and a few other extra activities. So, just find what really works for you. Again, if this is very new for you, but you really want to start something, then start small and start doing just, start creating the habit of getting up, but then maybe working out 1 to 2 times a week and just getting a feel for it. And it's going to feel icky. You're going to feel really uncoordinated. You're going to feel like, what am I doing? I don't even know what that means, or like a term, or how to use something. And honestly, it's just with the consistent showing up, watching someone demo it for you, hearing someone explain it, using your resources, asking someone, hello, me, like, I'm doing this program, I have no idea what this is, or am I doing this right? Find someone reliable that you can turn to, that you trust and feel comfortable with. Maybe you want them to watch how you squat. If you're not wanting to pay for a personal trainer, then there might be some form things that need to be addressed down the road. But just listen. You need a good trainer that's going to explain good form, proper posture, give you modifications. There's so many modifications for things. So if you're like, you hear someone say, do push-ups. I can't do a push-up. You can. You can do them on your knees. You can do them on an elevated surface like a bench, a box jump, a couch, a chair, or you use the wall and very light resistance that you have to push up on. You're not pushing all your body weight up. So you don't think you have to do hardcore manly push-ups or anything. When you see that in a workout, there's so many modifications. And so I just hope that this encourages you and motivates you. Again, I'm probably just the weird one, but I absolutely love fitness, working out, and all the ways that it's just enhanced my life, the people that I've met, the achievements that I've accomplished, and the limits I didn't even know I could push past. And it's super encouraging. And then you start to reap the rewards, and you're going to have better brain health. You're going to have stronger bones. You're going to have long-standing muscles that can keep you going when you're, 60, 70, 80 years old, and you can still lift your grocery bags, and you don't need a cane or a walker or knee or hip replacements. You're not dealing with Alzheimer's or any, it all comes with how we treat our bodies, both, physically and with nourishment. So movement and obviously rest and the kind of food that we're eating. For sure. So I hope that you took some notes, or maybe you need to re-listen and write a couple things down. Let me know what it is that maybe you have at home or that you think you are going to invest in. Again, you can find, I didn't touch on things that, where you can find things. I mean, you can go to Target, you can go to Walmart, if you shop with Amazon, if you, look on Facebook Marketplace or where other, I don't know, do people use eBay? I still look for shoes on there sometimes, but, places, resale places, just finding, or maybe there's a company, like a workout brand that you really like, and they give, sometimes they have their own resistance bands or yoga mats or whatever it might be. So find the place for you, hit up Goodwill. I always check the exercise spot, and it's always just super old stuff, and I just laugh. But hey, you might hit the jackpot one day. So, share this episode if it really encouraged you, if it was helpful, and you know somebody that would benefit from that, from this information. It would mean so much to me and would help encourage them along in their journey. So with that being said, I hope that you guys have an incredible week, and I will catch you on the next episode. Bye.